Have you ever felt so much overwhelm in a day that you don't even know what to do with it? Because the more you try to get your overwhelm under control, the worse it gets. Because if you're like me, when I feel overwhelmed, I try to overdo, but then I procrastinate because I'm too overwhelmed and don't know where to start, that it just causes more overwhelm. So that was happening a lot to me a few years ago. And I was using tapping, but I kind of came up with this technique of tapping overwhelm to reduce it. So then I could take the next best action that I needed to do. Because if we feel overwhelmed and it causes us to procrastinate, then we're not doing the things we need to do. And by the time we go to bed at night, then we're really feeling the inner critic and the self-judgment on not having been able to get us out of the overwhelm so that we could do what we needed to do. And I don't know about you, but I don't like feeling that way. So I started using this technique that I'm going to show you today on how to tap for my overwhelm that really helped reduce it, just so that I can take the next action I needed to do. And I might not have gotten everything done I needed in that day, but I got enough done then to not have all that self-judgment at night when I went to go to bed. For those who don't know who I am, my name is Carol Richard. I'm the founder of the Sleep Success Academy, where we help sleep-deprived individuals get the sleep they need, because it's so important to our mind and bodies that we can get deep, refreshing sleep. If you haven't done so already, go to my website, sleepsuccessacademy.com, where you can grab a copy of your free guide, Journey to Better Sleep, 5 Action Steps to Improve the Quality of Your Sleep. If you just see on the website, go halfway down on the main page, and you can see where you can put your name and email address right there. Also, while you're at it, why don't you subscribe to this YouTube channel so you can get notified of any new videos that I post. All right, so what I do tapping for overwhelm. So the best way to explain this would be like, I'm wanting to rate how much overwhelm I feel in my body from 0 to a 10. And that is like the general overwhelm. And then we're going to get specific on what is causing the overwhelm and do the tapping on the specific things. But first, I want to know what is the level of overwhelm that I have. And I want to test it and measure it so that I know at the end of this tapping video if you've actually helped reduce your overwhelm. So just really tuning in with yourself, tuning in with your body, taking a breath and just saying overwhelm, 0 to a 10 right now. How high would your overwhelm be? I'm not feeling a whole lot of overwhelm for myself, but I would say there's at least a 3. So there is some there. And once I have the rating from 0 to a 10, so it's a 3, I've had sometimes when the overwhelm has been 10 and I've used this technique and it's really helped me get the overwhelm down. So once I have that, if you are someone who feels in your body, because not everybody feels a sensation in their body with the emotions, but if you do, does it show up in any way? Like for me, like it's more in my chest going up my throat. So I can write that down, chest, throat. And is it a specific sensation? Not really. It just feels like tight. So I would write that's tight. So I have that information down and I'm going to leave that aside for now because I want to do the tapping and I want to see if I'm going to reduce my overall overwhelm. So then the next step is really to create a list of the things that are causing the overwhelm. And I like to do this by saying, I'm feeling overwhelmed because, right? So that's the question. I'm feeling overwhelmed because, and just start writing a list of the things that are causing you overwhelm. So for me right now, I'm feeling overwhelmed because my email box is kind of out of control and I need to go file my emails away. So I'm overwhelmed because of my email. I'm overwhelmed because I don't really have anything else popping in my mind, but let's just use some examples. I'm overwhelmed because a big project at work. I'm overwhelmed because the kids' soccer practice. My kids aren't in soccer right now, but that's what popped into my mind. I'm overwhelmed because I'm getting ready to go on a trip and I have too many things to do. And then I might list those things that are causing the overwhelm. So you get the point, right? So you can pause this video if you want to and just start writing the things you're overwhelmed for. And then we're going to want to rate them. So when I think I'm overwhelmed because of the email, so really focusing just on my email box, yeah, that overwhelm is a 7 when I think of the emails. right? So you see the difference, like my general sense of overwhelm is a 3, but overwhelm for the emails, that's a 7 because I don't like having a messy email box. So that's going to be my task once we're done this tapping video. And so go and rate every one of them that you've put on your list. Now, you could even have overwhelm because I have a list. That would be okay too, because that can even cause overwhelm. So maybe we'll start tapping with that one. Overwhelm because I have a list. All right, so let's see how that would look in tapping. So now that you've rated them, we're going to do one round for each of the things you're overwhelmed with. You could do it that way, or you could take one at a time and do as many rounds as you need to reduce that overwhelm. And when we've got the specific overwhelm tap, then we'll go back and test the overall overwhelm. Okay, I hope that made sense with that. All right, so repeat after me. So even though I'm feeling overwhelmed right now because I have this list of chores, I deeply and completely accept who I am. And even though I'm feeling overwhelmed right now because I have this list of chores, in this moment, I'm okay. And even though I'm feeling overwhelmed right now because I have this list of chores, just looking at it is creating overwhelm in my body. I deeply and completely accept who I am. Yeah, this list of chores. Overwhelmed because of this list of chores. Feeling overwhelmed because I wrote the list of things to do. Feel this overwhelm in my body. Overwhelmed just looking at the list of the things that are causing me overwhelm. This overwhelm in my body. This overwhelm just looking at the list of chores. And then the top of the head point, this overwhelm. I like to stop, take the breath that's comfortable for me, maybe look around the room a little bit, and then I go to the second thing. Right? So overwhelmed because of the email is what I want to do right now. So I'm just kind of checked in with me. So my overwhelm for the emails, after that first round of tapping, it actually went up to an 8 for some reason. So I might have to do more than one round on the list of the emails here. So even though I'm feeling overwhelmed, thinking about my emails in my email box that need to be sorted. I deeply and completely love and accept who I am. And even though I'm feeling this overwhelm, it's in my chest and in my throat. Thinking about all those emails I need to sort in my email box. In this moment, I'm okay. And even though I am feeling this overwhelm in my chest and my throat, about those emails in my email box that I need to file away. In this moment, I'm okay. All right, top of the head, the overwhelm because of the emails. Eyebrows. The overwhelm because of the emails. The overwhelm because of all those emails in my mailbox. These overwhelm because of all those emails. The overwhelm because of all the emails. I just noticed a shift with myself right there. So it's really important to tune in. What are you noticing as you're tapping? So this overwhelm about my email is still probably a 5. But what I would say is I just had this aha that they're not emails for me to action. There's a few to action, but they're really emails to file away. So that kind of reduced my overwhelm because it's okay if I don't get it done today. All right, and under the arm, this overwhelm around my emails. All right, so you get the gist, I hope so, with this. So I would keep tapping on the overwhelm for my emails. So just to recap what we did the overall overwhelm, what that was. It was a 3. And then we went overwhelm because, and then we're going to do a round of tapping like I just did on each overwhelm. And now, like overwhelm for my emails, that's a 5. I'll do some more tapping on that myself after the video, but I don't want to make this too long for you. And then when I go back to my overall overwhelm, when I just think about being overwhelmed in general for my day, that went down to a 2. Like there's less chest in my throat. But I know the more I tap on the overwhelm of the emails, the less overwhelmed I'll feel, the easier it will be for me to go in my email box to clean that off. And so when I go to bed tonight, that won't be, I didn't get that done again today. Reducing the overwhelm helps us take the task or the next step that we need in order to like feel better about our day. So I hope this was helpful to you to help you understand how you can use tapping to reduce the overwhelm. This is just one technique that I use. If you have any questions, just email me support@sleepsuccessacademy.com and I can maybe answer some questions that weren't answered with this video. But I'm really looking forward to hearing how you were able to reduce your overwhelm using this technique of breaking down the overwhelm. That's it for today. I hope you have a great day.